Heidi Ho, Canadian freedom fighter. Once again, for some reason, my video keeps shutting off. But anyways, we're on the phone with TELUS about the iPhone 6 and the iPhone 8. And it's been 42 days since this problem started. And they keep sending me threatening messages that my services are going to be suspended. They've been videotaped before, and now they're being taped again to upload to my YouTube channel, Heidi Ho, Canadian freedom fighter. Please hit like, subscribe, and leave a comment. So I've had to restart this video 3 times. So hopefully I won't have to restart this video. But once again, Heidi Ho, Canadian freedom fighter, and we're on the phone with TELUS. And this problem has been going on since March the 12th. And I had a verbal contract with them to return the 2 phones to their corporate store in Lawson Heights Mall, Saskatoon, which I did. And they breached their verbal contract with me and sent me back home with both the phones, as I had verbal contract to return both the phones to that location, because I've had courier services steal stuff from me in the past, and I'm not prepared to send 2 phones back and have both of them go missing and be stuck with the charges. They made the verbal contract with me to return the phones to their corporate store, and that's exactly what I did. Now I'm dealing with it again, 42 days later. But one thing I don't appreciate is my employees not knowing their job and total incompetence, and then being able to collect their welfare check from us fellow TELUS people that have their phones. It's ridiculous. And in this day and age, I don't care about the coronavirus. It's Prime Minister Trudeau's fault that we're sick in the first place. When they found out about the virus, they should have quarantined everybody coming back into our country, and he didn't. They could have sent the people to military bases where there would be lots of room to house them, and That's what our Canadian soldiers do. They put their lives on the line for us. It's not up to a hotel to accommodate these people. And with ventilation systems that are not purified air, that's going through the hotels, motels, well, not a motel, but anyways, the virus is airborne, so it travels in the air. So when you don't have purified air being circulated, you're just moving the virus around and around and around. And as far as I'm concerned, every Chinese citizen that is in Canada should be immediately deported back to China. And Trudeau should backcharge the Chinese government for the total cost of what they did to us by this manufacturing of the covert virus, which was explained in My Secret Terrorius, Terrorius, episode 10, and you have to Google that episode, but it was made in 2018 and described exactly what this virus is about now, including what it does to us and the name. So how on earth did South Korea make a TV show about this virus when it didn't even exist to the world's knowledge in 2018? And this is 100% Prime Minister Trudeau's fault for allowing people to come back into Canada without quarantining them from the very beginning. He knew what was going on in Wu Wang City, and he should have protected us, and he did not. Our Prime Minister failed to protect us, and now us fellow taxpayers are paying the burden of his incompetence. I have a medical license, so I voted for him last election because I didn't want somebody else getting in power and revoking the marijuana laws for the rest of Canadian citizens. So I voted for that idiot so that all of us would be able to enjoy the privilege of smoking medical marijuana or marijuana. And it's a shame that he did this to us and lied to the Canadian people and told us on TV that single people were going to get $400 on a one-time GST benefit and couples would get $600. Well, he failed to tell us in that interview that it is going to be prorated to your 2018 income tax. Well, if you're going to talk about Part A, why did you not inform the Canadian citizens of Part B? All you did was you made yourself sound like a big hero on national TV of what you're going to do for us, for what you did to us in the first place, without properly quarantining people. And again, every Chinese citizen should be deported back to China. We don't need these people in our country sucking off of our educational systems or whatever they're doing. They should be gone. Their country is accountable, and they're a citizen of that country. They should bear the same problems as their leadership. You're out, you're gone, so long, goodbye, good luck. But get back to China. Just trying to fill dead air time. But I have a video I'm going to be uploading also later today about a car loan company in, I believe it is Alberta, sent me a Gmail that I qualified for a new car loan. And because I've been scammed in the past, I asked them to take a picture of their business license and forward it to me by Gmail, since that's how they contacted me. And the person I was talking to on the phone said that he would send it to me on a text to my phone. I still not have received that text, and that was supposed to take place yesterday. So I will be uploading the name of that company, their phone numbers, and possibly everybody that sees this video will phone them and leave them nasty messages of being frauds. If you can't produce a business license for your province, you're a fraud. If you can't produce a business license for your city that you're operating in, you're a fraud. I have received no documentation after requesting it twice. So they're fraudsters that will be outed later in my next video coming up after these. And then hopefully I'll be able to get out and do some videotaping for my channel. But again, I appreciate all of my people that have watched my videos. I believe I have 114 subscribers and just over 5,200 views. And I started in August of 2020 or 2019. So I'm extremely happy with all the views that have watched my videos, and I'm just happy to have my subscribers or other people watching my videos. But with this stupid virus, it's hard to get content, and I'm disabled and I don't have a vehicle. That's why I was interested in this car loan. But I have a disabled electric scooter, but doesn't work good in snow, and finally the snow is gone, so hopefully I'll be able to get out and do some videoing for my channel. And this video has now gone on for 12 minutes since I started recording this one, and we're still on hold, and I appreciate your patience. And I appreciate everybody that's watched my videos or have subscribed to my channel. I really, really, really thank you for your support. And I also enjoy uploading these videos of people being screwed over by incompetence of other companies. And it's time to hold them accountable. And that's what the last few videos that I've uploaded have been. So at least I have some interesting content, and looking forward to some better content coming up in the near future. I'm still working on my lawsuit and my charges in Abbotsford laid against the two federal corrections guards that beat the crap out of me and gave me a brain injury and tore my rotator cusper. Wasn't appreciated. And that happened on March the 20th. October 27th, 2019, and charges have still not been laid. And I also laid a complaint with the Police Complaint Commissioner, and nothing has been resolved there. It was an informal complaint. I've upgraded that to a formal resolution complaint, so we'll see what's happening. The police officer in Saskatoon on my Brinks video that forced me a ID under threat of arrest, I'm still working on that. It's been over 2 months since the complaint was laid against the Saskatchewan Police Complaint Commissioner, so we're just waiting for the results of that. But the nice thing is, in Canada, police do not have qualified immunity, so I'll be suing Officer Parker. Personally, I hope he has a nice home. I'll look forward to sleeping in the master bedroom in the future. But if you're going to violate our Charter of Rights, then you deserve to be sued. You don't deserve to be on the piggy police force. We have enough piggies on the police force, and we don't need violators violating Canadian rights. Our Charter of Rights comes first, Then comes our criminal code. And if they're not going to uphold our Charter of Rights, they should be held accountable. But you do not force somebody to ID just because they're videotaping the Brink's main vault. They're in the bloody phone book with their address and location in Saskatoon. It's not as if it's a secret. If they wanted it to be a secret, they should have blocked their address in the phone book, and people wouldn't know how to look them up and go decide to videotape them. But I've known that they've been there since the 1979. A friend of mine took me there and showed me where it was. So I decided to do a video, and the police violated the city policies of you do not show favoritism to anybody. And the police officer tried to say on the video that Brinks has special privileges because they handle money. Well, that's another violation. So, Officer Parker, look forward to going to the welfare line. Or I'm looking forward to sleeping in your house, or maybe driving your vehicle, which was going to be owned by me.
Started smiling, you were smiling, we're all in this together. I'm made of atoms, you're made of atoms, we're all in this together. And long division just doesn't matter, 'cause we're all in this together. Yeah. Are you walking in the city? We're all in this together. City's changing, 'cause we're changing. We're all in this together. Every 12 seconds, someone remembers that we're all in this together. In the kitchen,
So I'm sorry that this video has been going on for 17 minutes now, but it'll be interesting to see what happens. And I'm not going to identify myself over and over to people when you've already identified yourself. That's crap and corruption.
I know you think about jumping ship before it sinks, but we are all in this together. Ask a scientist, it's quantum physics, we are all in this together. And on the subway, we feel like strangers, we're all in this together. Yeah, I love you, you love her.
I've been an advocate for over 18 years against the federal, provincial, and rentalsmen. I've never lost a case. I've had clients go to court and win their small claims court cases. The worst case that I ever did so far was a tenant was being sued by the landlord for $16,000 in damages. And when everything was said and done at the rentalsman, it was knocked down to $1,300. Well, that's a long ways away from $1,600 or $16,000, which means that all of his evidence was fabricated. So he should have lost the entire case at the rentalsman. However, he didn't. But again, $16,000 and being awarded $1,300 is quite a lot of difference. The tenant did do damages, so that's his accountability, but he did not get nailed $16,000 in damages.
place you on hold. I just wanted to let you know that my higher support team, Natasha, is already on the line. It's just that she is reviewing the account right now. And
Yes.
of course, for all of the documentations from the previous agents. I'm really so sorry if I needed to place you on hold for a very long time.
Well, so far
Stay on the line.
just this one conversation with you has been over 20 minutes, and the total time has been almost an hour.
I'm really so sorry if we needed to place you on hold.
Well, I'm not being rude to you, but sorry works for your mummy, your daddy, your brother, your sister, your whole extended family. I am neither of those. I live in the real world, and my apologies are compensation on my bill. That's the only thing that I accept as an apology, is being rewarded a discount on my bill, because I do not accept apologies from people I don't know. So please don't apologize to me anymore unless you're going to credit my account.
My higher, Natasha is already on the account right now and reviewing everything. I'll be placing you on hold once more, okay?
Yep, and I expect a phone call back if we get disconnected in any way, shape, or form.
We are going to call you back if our line will be disconnected.
That's
Please
correct.
stay on the line, okay?
You or Natasha are going to phone me back. I'm already on the phone. If we get disconnected, it's because of your poor quality equipment that you have.
Thank you so much, Heidi, for staying on the line. I'll be placing you on hold once more, okay?
Yep.
Thank you. I got you in one beating heart. I'll be alright. Gonna be alright.
And my medical marijuana license was issued to me in BC, and I'm allowed to have 21 ounces in my possession at any time. So for me that works out to about 60 joints a day. So right now I'm recording on my SAS telephone, as I was tired with dealing with TELUS because they don't know how to do their jobs, and went and got a new LG S70 something. So except for it cutting out on recording, I'm really happy with the phone, and I'm on the phone with my other LG that is a TELUS phone that I've had for 4 years or so. But I don't appreciate threats from my employees about suspending my services because of their incompetence. Again, I'm sorry that this video has exceeded 25 minutes. And we're recording on Heidi Ho, Canadian freedom fighter, on YouTube. And I appreciate all of my supporters. I have, I believe, 114 subscribers and just over 5,200 views of my videos. So I do appreciate your support. I thank you very, very kindly. Please hit like, subscribe, leave me a comment. Man, is this ever crappy music to listen to. I apologize to you. It's beyond my control. I've turned the volume down on the phone. So this video, I had to restart it 3 times. So that's why I said that it's been almost an hour of being on the phone with these incompetents. But it's now 28 minutes long, and we haven't resolved anything. But I'm going to enjoy uploading my next video, which is about a car finance company that's a scammer. So I'll be looking forward to uploading that. And I had a scammer. Her name was Connie Taylor. She's from the States. And she said she had a person that helped her out on the Economic Development Administration, where supposedly they were giving away up to $40,000 if you're disabled. And she said she received her check. So I talked to Roberto. I didn't believe what he was telling me. Reported them both to the FBI in the United States. So I'll be including their names and phone numbers on my next video of Scammers Outed. But how dare these people try to take advantage of disabled people and scam them. And it's even worse for this auto loan company that I didn't solicit, that they solicited me and be a scammer also. If you can't produce a business license, you're a scammer. And all they had to do was send me a picture of their business license, which I could then verify with their local city and their province. But to date, I haven't done that. So that's my next video, more scammers being outed. Well, I must have a really long file on these iPhones, since it takes that person that long to read, unless they're a supervisor with grade 1 education and hasn't learned to read fully or understand what they're reading. But I will be looking forward to taking the city of Abbotsford and the city of Saskatoon to small claims courts for violating our Charter of Rights. And one of them was interfering with me, exercising my right to public photography, forcing me to ID with no crime being committed, and again for giving Brinks preferential treatment, which is against the Saskatoon City policy. Nobody gets preferential treatment. So we'll be looking forward to maybe moving into his house or driving his car around or seeing him on the unemployment line, because he certainly doesn't need to be a piggy policeman, because we have enough piggies as policemen. We don't need a rookie as a policeman. And if you watch my Brinks vault, you'll see how young this piggy was, and no wonder he's incompetent. He should spend less time at the shooting range and more time at the law library reading the law before he invokes laws that don't exist. But Officer Parker, I believe his badge number was, don't quote me, 840. He's going to regret ever forcing me to ID, especially since he was warned that I will sue. There was an auditor called New England Truth This is where I got the expression from that I'm very excellent in small claims courts or dealing with rentalsmen or federal or provincial governments. And he would always say he's never lost a case. But unfortunately, New England Truth finally lost his first case. And he hasn't uploaded a video now for, it seems like, 3 or 4 months. So I think he's doing some time. Or his girlfriend was rude enough to abort their baby and then telling him about it later. And one of the things that he really, really wanted to do was be a dad. And he took it really, really hard. So I hope he hasn't harmed himself and that he's only staying at the Crowbar Hotel. But New England Truth is an excellent channel to watch. So it's a good thing that I had to restart this video 3 times, or we'd be close to, as I said, to my incompetent workers. I've been on the phone for an hour now.
Thank you so much for patiently waiting, Heidi.
Oh, you're more than welcome.
Yes, I do have Natasha now on the line. I will be transferring you over, okay?
All right.
Thank you. Thank you for holding, Natasha. I do have Heidi on the line. You cannot take over the phone.
Okay.
Hi, it's Natasha in management. Am I speaking with Heidi?
Yes, you are.
Hi. Well, I definitely value your time. I want to get this resolved. My colleague over in our care team just briefly caught me up to speed, but I'd like to make sure that I'm on the same page as you. Would you mind if I just ask you a couple of other questions along the way just to make sure that I'm on the same page?
No, I'm recording this for my quality control and for my protection. And I've already identified myself to your previous worker, so I do not want to identify myself again, as I would be giving out personal information that I don't want recorded.
Okay, so I'll just confirm this has nothing to do with the personal information that you're mentioning. What it is that I want to make sure that I'm on the same page as you with regards to the issue that you're calling about.
Yeah, I'm calling about the iPhones.
Some questions with regards to that.
Yeah, I'm calling about the iPhones, that I was entered into a verbal contract with you on March the 12th. They were supposed to be returned to the corporate store in Lawson Heights Mall in Saskatoon. And that's where they are. And your notes reflect that. So I fail to understand why I keep getting threatening messages that my services are going to be suspended when I've just paid my bill in full a few days ago. So I gave you $70, and if that left me in the rears with you, well, I guess I would be technically owing you a couple dollars. And if that's the case, I'll phone my bank later and have the balance put into my account so that I'm not in the arrears, because I do not like having bills in the arrears, but I also do not like to be being charged for things that are no longer in my control. And again, March the 12th was when the verbal contract was made. Prior to that, because I was in Mission, British Columbia, so I was to return the phones on March the 12th when I returned back from BC on March the 11th. And that's where they are. They're in your store, as you know.
Okay. Well, thank you for sharing. So just with all that being said, I'll just go back to my original question. Is it okay if I ask you a couple of other questions along the way as needed?
Depends on what questions they are. I may not be able to answer them. Not because I don't know the answer, but because I don't want to divulge information on this recording.
Okay, well that's fine. We can always make, any attempt here, to try and make sure that we get this resolved, because I know that you've been trying to, get this resolved for quite some time, right? So I'm here to help as best as I can, but in some cases that does require, that we ask, to work hand in hand with you so that we have the certain details necessary, okay? Now, the other thing I'll just mention before we get started, I don't know if you had planned, I know you said you are recording, I don't know if you plan to jot any important information down, but if there's anything you want me to, repeat along the way as you jot things down, just let me know, okay?
Yeah, I'm going to let you know right now. I'm a severe brain injury survivor. I was hit in the head twice with 300 tons of steel, hitting me at 12.5 miles an hour. I was hit once standing on the ground and was caught up to in midair and hit again. So I have no short-term memory because of the brain injury. So if I interrupt you, I'm not being rude. It's only because I won't be able to remember what I wanted to ask you when we do proper telephone etiquette.
Okay, well thank you for mentioning that. I'll be sure to keep that in mind.
All right.
Okay. So I just wanted to track back over, some of what you've shared with me, and yes, some of what I do see here on file. Now, taking a look at the account, I see that you've spoken with my colleague Anu just at the beginning of this month, right? From what I have here, Anu has mentioned that you guys had discussed the fact that, yes, the phones were at the store still, just as we mentioned, and the circumstance being that you would be getting in contact with the store in order to determine what the next steps would be. Okay?
I never agreed to that.
Sorry, can you repeat that again?
I never agreed to that.
Okay.
My verbal contract that was made to have the phones delivered back to the corporate store was March the 12th. It was you guys that broke the verbal contract with me because of the inept of the store manager wiping the iPhone 6, and then we couldn't get back into it anymore. So she sent me home with the iPhone 6 that she mussed up, for lack of swear words, and the iPhone 8, I should never have had to take it home. If nothing else, that should have been sent back to you because there was no reason not to send it back. It had no information on it. So I'm being punished for a store manager that doesn't even know how to wipe a phone.
Okay. Now, I wanted to get some clarification on this simply because of the fact that I do see here that there are notes from the store as well indicating that when you were at the store, they did let you know that unfortunately they would not be able to take the devices back. Now, can you share with me what happened after they mentioned that to you, that you wouldn't be able to leave the phones because they wouldn't be able to do the return?
Well, I took a taxi from the top end of 33rd Street to that location, got sent home with the phones. That was a breach of our verbal contract. And then it cost me another $20-some to return home. And I said, this is crap and corruption. I am not being held accountable for sending these phones back in the mail. As I had explained, Per Later Courier had ripped me off in the past for $2,400. And I'm certainly not going to be held accountable for some courier service stealing the phones and I get stuck with them. So as that explanation was explained, and I was told that yes, they can be returned back to a corporate store. That's exactly what I did. When I left the store, I was extremely unhappy, came home and thought about it and said, no, I'm taking a cab back up. I'm returning the phones. I started videotaping from before I entered the store until I left the store, videotaping that everything was in the boxes, nothing was missing, and walked out the store saying, so sad, too bad, goodbye, good luck, you're in possession of the phones. Which was now a fulfillment of our verbal contract.
Okay. So you chose store because of the experience that you've had with couriers in the past. Is that my understanding?
Well, would you trust anybody that you spent $2,400 on and received nothing? Would you let yourself be found in that situation again?
Good question. I'd have to double check with you. Who was the courier that this
Perlator Courier. Somebody
Perlator.
there ripped me off for $2,400. They have a secret insurance for your packaging for $100 that's included with whatever your shipping fees are. It's in there. So I received back a big $100, so I ate $2,300. And I'm not going to be ever eat anything except food again.
Well, yeah, I mean, that makes sense. I can understand why there would be some major cause for concern there. I mean, especially if you were, ripped off, as you mentioned, based off of everything that you've shared. Here's the question I have, though. The return mailers that we sent to you, those are normally by Canada Post. Now, Canada Post and Purelator are two separate entities, right?
Yeah. Well, hey, I don't care. If you burn your hand on the frying pan, are you going to hit or pick up another pot that's on the stove and is boiled dry and is red on the bottom? Or are you going to say, no, burn me once, you don't burn me again?
Well, I think that's really, at the end of the day, a matter of opinion, right? But the circumstance being is that we know that, as we've discussed here, this was not sent by Purelator, right?
That's not my problem. If you want to burn yourself twice because you take that long to figure out that when you do something, bad things happen, well, that'll be your problem. But I protect myself. That's one of the reasons why this call is being recorded. I fulfilled the verbal contract and the phones are in your possession. It's not my problem anymore.
And I'll just double check with you because you mentioned a very good point in terms of protecting yourself, right? Now, I just want to double check because you did mention you brought the phones back to the store after being told the first time that unfortunately they couldn't take them back that way. What measures did you take to protect yourself the second time that you returned back to the store and left them?
I videotaped it from the beginning of walking in the store to walking out of the store. It was all videotaped.
Right, but what measures did you take to ensure that they could be returned properly to protect yourself?
I was following your verbal contract with me to take the phones on March the 12th back to your corporate store in Lawson Heights Mall. As at the time I was in my other location, I also live in Mission, British Columbia. So I couldn't return the phones. I made arrangements that they would be delivered to the corporate store in Lawson Heights Mall on March the 12th. That was our verbal contract. I fulfilled it. You guys did not.
Okay. And the verbal contract that you're referring to, I know that you mentioned that you also have it recorded.
It's in your notes. It's in your notes. March the 12th, I was to return both the iPhone 6 and the iPhone 8. You broke your verbal contract with me.
That's actually what I wanted to get at, Heidi. I just wanted to confirm, just to save us both some time, right? I want to go over the notes here. If there is any, confirmation of the fact that, yes, we did, in fact, tell you to return these devices to the store, I want to see what I can do here to get this.
I already have it recorded on another phone call with one of your employees that confirmed that that's what was to be done. And that the phones are in you're talking over me. And the phones you're talking over me. And the phones are in your possession. I did follow the contract. You guys breached it.
Okay. So I just wanted to try and finish my sentence. Just give me 1 second. I understand that this is a very frustrating experience, but like I said, I am here to help as best as we can, right, to get this resolved today for you. The question that I had, yes, you are correct. You did say that you have recordings of this being stated. I wanted to find out from you, just so that it possibly might save us some time here. Do you remember the name of the agent, the TELUS agent that you spoke with over the phone, who had told you to take back these devices based on that verbal contract? Or do you have it by chance recorded in the call?
Yeah, it's recorded. However, it should reflect in the notes the last communications that you should have with me are prior to March 12th. Because I had no contact with you previously to that, except on ordering the phones.
Okay, perfect. So that gives me at least a time frame. So I should be looking at anything from before March 12th.
That's correct.
Anything before that time would indicate that there's stuff here on file that we had indicated to you to take back both of these devices to a TELUS store to return them. Is that right?
That's correct.
Okay. Okay, so I'm going to need some time here to do a review because you don't have the name. That's okay. I just needed, like I said, I wanted to find out if there was a way I could save us some time if you had the name. Knowing that we don't have the name of the agent that we spoke with, I'm going to need to do a review here, and I'm going to offer you one of a couple options just because as a consumer myself, I know how annoying it is to stay on hold. I can either offer you to place you on hold if I do this review, or if you prefer, I can give you a ring back once I've done the review of the account. Which
No.
would you prefer?
I've been on the phone now for almost an hour and a half, and so we might as well stay on hold longer and make this a good recording.
It's up to you, whatever you prefer. That's why I gave you the option. But if you're saying that you're okay with holding, I will place you on hold, and I appreciate your patience. Thank you.
I can't expect you to take more than a couple minutes when all you have to do is flip through the screens to anything previous or before March the 12th.
Is it okay if I place you on hold to do that with you?
Yep, and what phone number do you call me back at in case we get disconnected?
I would be calling you from, it appears the number that you're dialing. Do you have an alternate number that you prefer to give me?
No, that's the one.
Okay. I appreciate your patience again. Thank you for holding.
And that's how we do it. And now we'll find out what the response is going to be. I think what I'll do is when I do upload this video, I'll only include the last few minutes of the phone call where everything is confirmed that things are going to be finally straightened out. Right now we're at 55 minutes. That's too long to have a video uploaded. It wouldn't be fair to my people that have watched me or subscribed to me to put them through that much misery. But we'll restart it later at the end of the phone call, or upon having her call me back, reconfirming that everything is correct, and then I'll videotape that phone call, which would be a lot shorter than all of this mess. The $2,400 that I'm referring to is that my loving wife, yes, I said wife, sent me down 4 ounces of my medical marijuana, and Perlator Courier stole it. And when I received the package, you could clearly see, in fact, they lost it. They didn't even know where it was for a time period. And when I received it, there was nothing in it, and I was out $2,400, and had an unknown insurance with Perlator Courier that I was covered for $100. Whoopie-doo. I also had a altimeter and something else stole out of that same package, as I'm a skydiver. I have 47 jumps. My highest jump was 10,500 feet of free fall. That took less than just under a minute to reach opening altitude of 2,500 feet. So 60 seconds to travel about 1.75 miles of free fall. My loving wife, when I met her in 1995, said that I can have her or I can have skydiving, but I can't have both. So I do own a $10,000 parachute that I haven't used since 1995, and it was the best decision that I ever made in my entire life. But I'm just killing dead air time. In 47 jumps, I had to use my emergency chute once, where I was out of control spinning, and the second time was my first night jump. And your reserve parachute is guaranteed to fire off at 1,000 feet, but will fire off anywhere in between with no guarantee. So because it was my first night jump, I wore a student parachute with an automatic opening device, and when I opened up my main parachute at 2,500 feet, I felt a tug on my back, and it turned my head, and lo and behold, I had 2 parachutes being deployed, not knowing that a round parachute and a rectangle parachute, we call them squares, don't fight each other. Before my main parachute caught air, I had pulled it back in and tucked it between my knees and rode my reserve parachute down to the ground. But at opening altitude of 2,500 feet, you're 9 seconds to death. It takes 5 seconds for your parachute to deploy. That leaves you 4 seconds in order to react to an emergency. So the thrill of skydiving is unbelievable for anybody that ever thinks about or has done it. It's the biggest thrill that you could ever have. And I'm going to look forward to, hopefully, this summer, skydiving again. My first skydive was in 1985. So I wasn't a very consistent skydiver because I only have 47 skydives. But I have to pay over again to take the course to be a skydiver. And then I'm going to start skydiving again in Abbotsford, British Columbia. But the parachute I had I paid $10,000 for it. And someone's giving me a phone call. Well, now we're at 1 hour and 1 minute. I would never do this to my people that watch my videos to make it last this long.
Heidi, thank you very much for your patience.
You're welcome.
Okay. So I was able to review the account. Went all the way back here, anything before the 12th of March. They did see that you spoke with Andrea back on February 25th pertaining this same topic. I see that what was noted here was that you had, at the time, there were two devices, of course, the iPhone 6s and the iPhone 8. What was indicated is that you had been looking to return these devices, but only once you returned from vacation. So we had agreed that you would return the devices no later than March 12th. She did note here that she did give you the heads up that you must make sure that you use the return mailer for the iPhone 6s. So it would have to be sent back by Canada Post.
No. Both phones were to be returned to the corporate store in Lawson Heights Mall on March the 12th. And that's when I went to the store to return them. And again, was sent home with them, which should never have happened. And I thought about it and said, no. I have a verbal contract. And the phones are in your possession. It's as simple as that.
Okay. Well, the phones, from what I can see here, the attempt to return them, unfortunately, was after the 12th of March.
No, it wasn't.
In terms of
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. I was in the store March the 12th and was sent home with them. And returned a couple days later, either the 14th or the 15th, I forget. And that's when I videotaped the whole time period spent in the store. Because I knew I wasn't going home with them a second time.
I understand. What I wanted to explain was that it was due to the issue with the iPhone 6s, right? Now that
because the store manager, because you're talking over me, because the store manager, when she wiped the phone, did something wrong, and then we could no longer get into it to wipe it. So that was their excuse to sending me home with the iPhone 6. However, I got sent home with both phones, and there was no reason why the iPhone 8 shouldn't have been left at that corporate office store in Lawson Heights Mall.
As we've noted here, right, unfortunately the process was not handled in the correct way. Okay?
That was handled in the correct way as I was fulfilling the verbal contract that I had with you to return them March the 12th, which is exactly when I was there. Go ahead.
Yeah, so as I was saying, so with regards to what was agreed upon, based off of the notes here in file, it was specifically that the devices could not be returned at the store level. I did speak with my colleague Anu, who you had last spoken with back at the beginning of April, and Anu had also confirmed with me in having that conversation with her that in terms of where you guys left off, she did...
My last conversation was with a male.
That are left on file, that you did indicate that you would be looking to get back in contact with the store to find out what the next steps would be. Because unfortunately, at this point, without having the devices returned in the proper way, we are not able to...
I returned them in the proper way. I followed your contract with me to return them March the 12th. I did. There's no error on my part. Go ahead.
So the next step, okay, in terms of what would have to happen in terms of this process, would be that these phones would need to be retrieved from the TELUS store. That would have been the protective measures, that you would have needed to have taken at the time. What I can do at this point is I can certainly contact the store to see if they are in fact open, okay? Just based off of the conversation that you'd had with me, that was supposed to be the next step. She did also indicate to me that when she had the conversation with you, it was also documented that the store did also try to contact you on a number of occasions just to let you know that they were, more than happy to send the devices back to you so that you could complete the proper process.
Ain't happening. It is not happening. It's not happening. They are out of my possession. They are in your store. They are in your possession. I'm done with it.
Okay. Because at that point...
I don't care about what point. The phones are in your store. I don't care about my employee not wanting to do their job and send the phones back on March the 12th. If that store manager would have done her job properly, and don't forget, you people work for me. I do not work for you. So she broke our verbal contract and sent me home with the phones because of her inept in doing her job. Go ahead.
Okay. So I'll just confirm, right, at this point, because the phones have not been returned back to us in the proper manner, as to what was discussed...
The proper manner was as fulfilled. Return them to your corporate store in Lawson Heights Mall. If you want to say there's a problem, take it up with the employee that made that contract with me. But don't punish me. I'm your boss. You do not punish your boss. Go ahead.
Given the fact that the return has not been processed in the proper way...
Don't say the proper way. Don't want to hear those words. The proper way was to return them both to your corporate store March the 12th in Lawson Heights Mall. That was the proper way. Go ahead.
So at this point, what would happen is that the devices would be erroneous due to the fact that we have not received the devices. Okay? As to what was discussed back in February, to how to go about completing that return.
There is absolutely no excuse that the store manager, not an assistant manager, who I dealt with on March the 12th, could not go back to the store and send them back as per agreed. That's not my problem. She has the keys to the store. She could have gone to the store at any time and had them sent back. So once again, my employee incompetence is inconveniencing me. Phone the store manager and have her do her job. And if she would have done it right in the first place, we wouldn't be having this conversation today or all the previous times that I've had conversations or have sent reply Gmails back to you. Or if the message was sent by text, send it back to you explaining, you got them, your problem. I don't care if they sit there for the next year. I'm not accountable for them in any way, shape, or form.
Well, at this point, considering that the phones, were dropped off, we did ask you to make sure that you take them with you. They would be considered as abandoned, right? The phones in that case would be charged out to you because they were not returned the proper way.
The proper way was, as per contract, return them on March the 12th.
Yes, but there were stipulations within that as to how they would be returned.
Yeah, take them to the store and leave them there. There is no other things to do except to have ensured that they were wiped. The iPhone 8 was wiped. The iPhone 6 had a little bit of information on it, including the phone number, and I had the store manager wipe it so that it was done correctly. She couldn't fulfill her job obligations of a simple wipe the phone.
Yes, and I get the fact that this is the process that you believe to be the case, but considering...
It is the case. It is the case. I'm pregnant, I delivered my child, and now it is in somebody else's possession. It's been adopted.
So the devices were supposed to go back to you. Unfortunately, at this point, you would be responsible.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I take no accountability for you breaching your contract with me. I take no accountability for the store manager breaching our contract. All she had to do was pick up the phone and explain to somebody on the other end that she made a mistake wiping the iPhone 6, so it's going to be sent back with information on it, and the iPhone 8 had no information on it, so it would have been a done deal. But she didn't want to go above somebody and clarify what needs to be done now. She took it upon herself as being the store manager to break our contract. So bad things happen when you break contracts. This is one of them. Go ahead.
I would perhaps recommend, right, if this is a dispute at the store level, that you would get in contact with the store once they are open. I can provide you with their contact number.
Nope. I'm not saying dope. I'm saying nope. I'm done with it. It's a done deal. It's over and done. The boss has done what she needed to do. It is up to my employees to follow the boss's instructions.
Okay, so I'll double check with you beyond this then if you have nothing else to input with regards to the circumstances you mentioned, if you're done with this. I'm going to ask if you have any other account questions for me today.
If I have any what?
And what the next steps would be.
Well, the next step is to have the manager go to the store and ship them off to you, as I've suggested in the past. There's no reason why she cannot go to the store. If it was broke into, she would have to go back to the store because the police would need her to be there to find out what has gone missing because of this day and age, courtesy of the Chinese government manufacturing this disease in the first place. And in the second place, there may be a problem with other employees being there, but she would have been the only employee there to ship them off and be done with it. But she wants to take a paid vacation at the taxpayers' money cost because she doesn't want to go to the store and do something that needs to be done. She's only going to the store to deal, you're talking over me. She's only going to the store to deal with the problem that she started with in the first place. She is not dealing with anybody else except possibly the courier service that picks them up. And she shouldn't be out and about without wearing gloves and a mask in the first and second place. So hanging in the store until the courier comes to pick them up is part of her job. She is getting paid to sit at home and do nothing. She can do something, which is go to the store and have them shipped back. But in the meantime, I should not be receiving these threatening messages from you people, threatening to suspend my services. Go ahead.
Once again, I'll just confirm with you.
You need to speak louder.
Yes, I was just asking, were there any other account questions that you had for me today?
No? Do your job.
I have done my job, but if you don't have any other questions, I will leave some detailed notes on the account.
So you're going to instruct the manager to go to the store and ship them off, and we're done with it. And I'm not going to receive any more threatening messages from you because of this problem that I did not cause.
That is unfortunately not something that we have.
Well, then it's a done deal. They're done. I fulfilled our contract. That's what we have small claims court for.
Okay. Well, Heidi, I will leave the notes on file just confirming the details, and that unfortunately the process would have to be for you to contact the store for next steps.
Say that again? Say that again?
Yes, I said that I will leave the detailed notes on file confirming that the next steps would be for you to contact the store.
No, I'm done. The store is closed. I'm done. What don't you understand about I'm done? If I'm a turkey in your oven, when it's done, it's done. I'm done.
Well, Heidi, if you're done, I will leave the notes on file, and I appreciate your time.
Well, like I say, suspend my account and we'll be in small claims court for breach of contract. Punish me in any way, shape, or form. We'll be going to court. $100 is all it costs me to go to the court and have you guys in court, which will be the store manager. All right? Did you hang up on me?
You know what? I'm still here.
Okay. So we're done. The turkey's out of the oven.
Thank you for your time today.
Well, on just this last phone call, it's been 78 minutes since I started talking to the previous person. So I've been on the phone for close to an hour and a half, or close to 2 hours. Unacceptable. But I'm done. If you suspend my account in any way, shape, or form, or cancel my contract, we'll be in small claims court. I've never lost a case yet. And I've been there many, many times. And I've been a successful advocate for over 18 years. And the only case that I ever lost was the tenant was being sued for $16,000 in damages. And I got it docked down to $1,300 in damages because I caught the landlord falsifying costs of the suite that my client was in. So he caused damages, so he had to pay $1,300. But he did not pay $16,000. So you've been warned. Go ahead. Well, I'll ask the question again. Are you there? Or did you hang up on me?
No, I'm still here, as I mentioned.
All right.
You don't have any other account questions for me. I'm simply here to discuss your TELUS account, right?
No, just do what your boss instructs you to do. Do as your boss instructs you to do. Have the store manager go back to the store and send the phones back. If she would have done that in the first place, there would not be a serious coronavirus 19 or whatever epidemic to cause her to sit at home and now get paid by the taxpayers of Canada to be able to sit at home. Because I'm sure you're taking advantage of Trudeau's policy of people that are hurt get paid. Second of all, she's on salary plus commission.
So if you do not have any other questions about your TELUS account, then thank you for your time.
Well, I'm done. It's out of my hands a long time ago.
Okay, well, thank you for your time today.
Yeah, well, be warned. And what's your name again?
My name is Natasha.
What's your ID number?
I am not required to provide you with that information due to privacy.
Okay, what location do you work at?
I'm based out of Ontario.
Where?
I'm in Ontario.
All right. And confirm your phone number.
I don't have a phone number to provide you with.
Then how would you phone me back?
The best contact number is *611.
Thank you very kindly. Natasha.
For your time.
Have a better day than you've given me, but I enjoy these conversations immensely. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Well, was that success or not? Heidi-ho, Canadian freedom fighter, signing off till next time. I love you guys dearly who watch my videos. Bye-bye for now.